Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I am at Kleiner Park today, and I've got a drone that I've been trying flying it lately. I've been doing some hyperlapse videos with it in the evening, trying to get some sunsets. The weather hasn't cooperated very well, but that's a whole nother story. The Mavic 3 Pro, just an amazing piece of technology. Every time I fly this drone, as you guys know, often I'm test flying some bargain drones, some Amazon drones, etc. And they're always a challenge. And then you get a hold of a bad boy like this, and it really makes you appreciate the hobby and what a quality drone can truly be. They just did a firmware update for the Mavic 3 Pro, and it's no great shakes. It said that it updated remote ID in certain countries. Well, it already has remote ID in the US, so that doesn't affect me. And it also said, I don't know if it said fixed minor bugs or something like that. So nothing too crazy, but it also updated the firmware for the RC Pro. And then I noticed the RC Pro updated the Fly app, so everything's updated. I just want to listen. Honestly, I'm just looking for an excuse to fly this guy. So we're going to take it up around the park here, and you're not going to see any kind of new territory here. I fly here a lot, so you'll see some of the same stuff that I've shown in many videos. But that said, we'll take a look and we'll see if we can find any distinct changes in the app or anything like that that came with this update. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. Hey, okay, I've got a screen recorder started, and the drone's fired up here. It's got 19 satellites. One of the things when the Mavic 3 series first came out, they had problems grabbing satellites, and I've noticed that it takes this guy a little bit longer to grab satellites than, say, my Air 3 or Mini 4 Pro. Not a big deal. It's just, a matter of another 30 seconds or something like that. But it's just something that I've noticed, and it's worth talking about. So we talked about a firmware update. Let's go in and take a look at that. So you can see we're on the app version 1.13.10 and firmware version for the drone 01.01.0600, and the RC firmware is 03.02.0800. And again, I'm going to hold it in front of the camera. This is the RC Pro. So I know a lot of people use the DJI RC with this particular drone, but the RC Pro is, man, it's the way to go. Just trust me on that one. Okay, let's go to the safety menu and look at that real quick. We're in bypass, and bypass normal. If you put it in nifty mode, it just slows down the reactions of the drone, so I like leaving it in normal mode. The radar map, we got that on. That shows on the screen how close you are to objects. Optimal return to home. Return to home altitude 30 meters is plenty for where we're at here. AR settings, I have all of those on. That's the drone shadow and the, well, let's just look at it here real quick. The return to home route and the AR home point that they came up with. Compass is normal. IMU is normal. We'll take a look at the battery here. Battery is normal as I would expect it to be. So no reason not to take off. We're going to shoot in, we are in auto, and we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. So we've been messing around long enough. Let's go ahead and take off. We'll do an auto takeoff on the app, holding down that button. Takeoff. And there's the drone, and you can see when I was talking about radar, you saw those colors around it on the screen. You see them right now. It's looking at things around it. I'm close to the picnic shelter here, and I'm just giving it a look at its home point before I move off. DJI in their manual says to go up 7 meters high before and just straight up and give the drone a look at its at its home point in order to achieve precision landing. So you can see where I'm sitting here. It is a super hot day today, so I'm not going to make any excuses about sitting here in the shade. We are not going to be able to bring the drone in very close. In fact, I'll move it forward here, and you're going to see it's going to move around me. It just moves right around me. It's right above my head now. It moves around all the, it'll just move around all of these objects here. Look, you can see we're heading straight for a couple of posts. It's not going to hit them. It's going to move around them. And then we come out the other side. So that's the beauty of this drone. You know, I guess you could crash it, but you're going to have to work pretty hard to do it. So let's back it up a little bit and let's go straight up. Let's go over the top, and we need to do our droney yet. I need to start recording too, so we'll get that going. Starting recording now. And yeah, let's bring this guy down. And we'll bring it in, turn it back around here, and get it looking at us so that we can do our droney. Sorry there, I was focused on flying the drone. So again, let's just see if we can bring it in a little bit closer here. Okay, you know what it's time for? It's time to do our droney. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. We're kind of going a little bit different direction than I typically go with the drone. Back out over the neighborhood and the dropping the camera down here so that you can see where they keep all their groundskeeping equipment, etc. Sorry, I was a little bit of a loss for words there. So while we're here, let's take a look. This is a community garden, and I don't exactly know how it works. You know, who gets permission to plant what there, I don't know. But we can take a look at that real quick here. It's kind of cool that the city makes room here for a community garden, I think. And you gardeners are going to probably know a lot of what is planted there. I can tell you I don't. But we'll just do kind of a orbit around this and kind of take a look so you guys can see it all. Yeah, what a neat thing that the city supplies this. And again, I don't know if it's a garden club or, you know, who is allowed to plant what there. You can see it's pretty organized, right? So anyway, that is what it is. Looks like there's a lot of different stuff getting grown there, that's for sure. So, okay, let's pick that camera up. And the other thing I want to tell you is typically, looking this direction, you would see the Boise front, but there is so much smoke in the air. And by the way, it has actually decreased quite a bit. I think we're in the yellow category, you know, unhealthy for, you know, people with breathing issues, etc. And you can see where I'm sitting right there. You can see the picnic shelter. I'm under that because it is a hot day today, and you know what, it's fairly comfortable sitting here in the shade, and this is the first chance that I've had to fly in quite a while, so pretty happy about that. So let's head on over here to the you guys have seen me, this sculpture is one of my favorite objects to get some video of, and I like it when this time of year when the trees are all filled out and everything. I just think it looks particularly good. So let's see if we can, I'm doing a manual orbit here. And I always favor doing that, and I'm in normal mode. And boy, DJI's flight controls, you know, I try this with some of those cheaper drones and it's problematic, but with this drone it is so easy to keep that sculpture in center of frame. And again, I'm in normal mode. I'm not even in cine mode, and I'm easily able to to do a manual orbit, which is pretty cool. Let's kind of get over the top of it here, and there is, if you look down at the concrete here, and I've probably talked about this before, but this is what's called a labyrinth, and you can get on that concrete, and you can, it's kind of like a, you know, you can see if you can find your way out of the labyrinth there. Let's see if we can get over the center of the sculpture here. We can get down lower than that. And let's see if we can do, I'm just going to, on the left stick, I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of a reveal. So pushing that left stick up and to my left, and we're going to see if we can just kind of do an orbit and raise right above the center of the labyrinth here. And we can pick up that camera as we go, and gets us a reveal of the park. Kind of a favorite little manual move that you can use to create some fairly cinematic look. And I don't claim to be any great shakes on the sticks, but that's one thing that I can do manually that works out pretty good. And you know, this is kind of cool. We're about 70 meters high. This kind of gives you a big overlook of the park itself. The two ponds. It's not terribly active today because of the hot weather. There's not a lot of people out, so that's probably a good time to be flying the drone here. But every time I look at this park and I look at these trees, I always think about, wow, this is going to be something in you know, 10 or 20 years as these trees get bigger. This park is only going to get better. And there's 3 of these sculptures in this park, in Julius Kleiner Park, and they are made out of, evidently there was a bridge in this park someplace, and they're made out of some of the girders from that bridge. So here's another one right here. Probably got some people fishing down there. Yeah, looks like it. Somebody's fishing off the side there. And then what you see on the very right-hand side of the screen there is the Senior Center. Pretty popular with seniors. I guess I'm a senior citizen. I've never, I've yet to feel the need to hang out at the Senior Center, but maybe one day I will, right? So at any rate, the 2 ponds here, this is the bigger one right here. And what is really cool about it is they stock it with fish, and you see a lot of people fishing here. Here's one of the fountains here, a couple of fountains here, and I think those are primarily to aerate the water so that the fish stay alive. So yeah, you just go right above that guy, and yeah. So one of the things, you know, what I like seeing is you know, older folks and kids fishing here. You know, that it's probably harder for them to get out. I hate to say it, but it always kind of bugs me when you see some middle-aged guy out here flying his, yeah, I almost said flying his drone, fishing. Leave those fish for the kids, man. That's what I'm saying. Leave those fish for the kids. Anyway, so let's head back over here. And I told you there's 3 sculptures. And here's another one right here. That's what I like about flying at this park, is there's so many cool things to look at. So 3 of these sculptures that they put together out of the girders from I'm going to see if I can do a rotation to my left, which is not natural for me. That's not typically the way I do it. And the cool thing about this drone with the level of obstacle avoidance is that it you don't have to worry about going sideways into something. It's got really remarkable obstacle avoidance. So, and let's back up here because I think I see some people in the, yeah, they're holding it. So we want to stay clear of, it looks like they're There's some people there in the band shell. They may be holding some kind of a day camp here. Boy, it looks like they had some kind of a flood. That typically you don't see that kind of water down there. So something happened. I don't know what's going on. Whether they had a break in an irrigation line or something, who knows? But yeah, they got a regular pond going on, don't they? That's interesting. Wonder what that's all about. Anyway, let's pick up the camera a little bit, give you a look at some other parts of the park here. One of the other things that I always like to look at is, and they just put these in, I don't know, a couple years ago maybe, the pickleball courts. Always very busy. Look, there's nobody there. There's nobody playing pickleball right now. I wonder why. Is that because it's 95 degrees outside right now? Maybe so. On its way, they say that this will be the first day in about 10 days that we're not going to hit 100 degrees, but they said we're going to hit 99 today. But if we do hit 100, it's going to break one of the local weather records. So let's grab some altitude, pick up that camera, and then give you a look at the park from the other direction. And this park has a little bit of something for everybody. Let me move forward here so we can kind of see. And we're going to stay a little bit back, but there's a kids play area right here, and that is really popular. And there's a splash pad there too. We should be able to get a little bit closer here. See if I can get you a look at the splash pad. There you can see it. You can see some kids playing in there. We are not going to get any closer than what we're at right now. But you can look at the parking lot for the park. It's just empty. It's because of the hot weather. There's just not very many people here today. And here, and I've shown this before, but here in the central part of the park is his statue of Julius Kleiner himself, who the park was named after. This property, I think it was originally a dairy farm, and he bought it, and then I think I know he had a creamery that he made butter, and so I don't know. If you're curious, I'm sure you could look it up on Wikipedia or something. But his family donated the property for this. Let's just get down here and see if we can get a little better look. I know I got zoom on this drone, but there's nobody here, so I think we can kind of get down and get a better look. So anyway, that's Julius Kleiner. And again, I'm trying to point at the Boise front, which I like to do, and you can't see it because of all the smoke. Pretty crazy. We still have a fairly high percentage of battery here. 48%. We're only halfway through this battery. So I think we need to try some of the tricks that this drone can do. I think we need to do a let me just try. You know what? Let's I always talk about how powerful this drone is. I'm going to throw it in sport mode here, and I'm going to give you a look at the top speed. So we're going to head straight across to the field across from the park here. I'm full stick forward right now, and you can see how quickly the drone is accelerating. We are up to 20 meters per second, almost 21, 20.9, not quite 21 meters per second. That is 45, 46 miles an hour. The advertised top speed of this drone is 47 miles an hour. Let's go back the other way. And by the way, that's Walmart. That's a big mega Walmart that you're seeing right there. And CarMax right next door. Let's go the other way and let's see what we can do with this guy, top speed wise. Alrighty, full stick forward. In case we had a headwind one way or the other. Let's go the other way. And it's amazing how quickly it accelerates. So we're quickly getting up to, well, let's slow down a little bit. We were up at 20 meters per second for a second there. Now it's around 19 meters per second, so not quite as fast. Okay, I got enough time to do one more thing, and I'm going to do a quick shot here. Let's see if we can get this guy focused on Julius Kleiner down here. And we're going to do, I said a quick shot, I meant to say a master shot. So I'm going to stop recording now, and I'm going to click on that little film strip looking icon. I'm going to go to master shots, and we'll get that. It's going to give me this little how-to screen. We already know how to do that, so we're going to get out of there. I'm going to center, I'm going to draw the point of interest right on the center there, and estimated flight time 2 minutes, but let's click on that down arrow, and yeah, medium is what we want. Medium width, medium length, medium height. It's going to take it 2 minutes. Let's click start. 3, and it's going to count down. 2, 1. And I see it's going to do this in 4K 30. So it's adjusting the aircraft position, and now it's starting to record. And so yeah, it's cool. It tells me on the screen what it's doing. We're doing a droney right now, and it's just pulling back. This thing. I just love the automation that they put into this stuff. And doing a circle far, it says. Now I don't do, even though I do have a commercial drone license, Part 107. I don't do any commercial work. I've got a, and this now it's doing a pitch up and fly forward. I don't do any real commercial work with my drone. If I did, and if I was somebody, circle close is what it's saying now. If I was doing real estate or something like that, I would certainly take advantage of these master shots, because it gives you a bunch of cinematic shots, and then you could edit them into whatever you felt you needed for your customer. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, I just fly manually because I get this shot and that shot." Yeah, you can. I don't know. I'm not that great on the sticks, so I like these automated features that DJI gives us. And yeah, we're doing good. So rocket now, camera down and fly forward. We're about 3/4 of the way through. We're at 30% on the battery. So once we're done with this, we'll just hit a return to home, and we'll see if we can get a precision landing with the drone. So yeah, camera straight and descend, and you're looking off into the smoky abyss, and then down it goes, and it's ascending straight down on the top over Julius Kleiner's statue there. Master shot's complete, and then it'll return. What I think is pretty cool, it returns to its starting point. So I know some people like that, some people don't, but when we see that red circle with the X in it, when we see that go back to green, we'll know it's done. And you'll see there at the bottom, it actually will edit a little video for you, so you can go into the app and you can have it custom edit some videos. So if I do that, I'll cut that in right now. Okay, I'm not sure whether I took advantage of that custom editing or not, but let's go ahead and switch back to video mode. We're going to click on that video camera, and we're back to 60 frames per second. I'm going to start video, and we are going to hit return to home on the, well, let's just do it on the app because I'll show you that. Click that on the app, hold return to home down. Return to home. And here it comes, picks up the camera, and you can see the AR path, the augmented reality path. You can see the home point, and as it gets closer, it'll give us a drone shadow over the drone. Or over the landing pad, well, or over its landing site. Hopefully it's the landing pad, and we'll see exactly where the drone will land. So I've got pretty good confidence that it's gonna, that we'll hit that landing pad here. So we'll see as it comes down. Yeah, there it dropped the camera down. It did that by itself, and you can see. I'm going to hit pause because it's way off. Yeah, you know what? it's not going to hurt anything. I'm holding the camera up here. I'm just going to let it land. But yeah, it's in a spot where it's just going to land on the concrete. So I'm going to let it land. But you can see how far off it was from the pad there. So I wouldn't exactly call that a precision landing. Okay, one of the things that you always want to remember to do before you shut down the drone, I think the Mavic 3 would close out the file anyway, but stop recording. And I also do want to do the same thing with my screen recording. Okay, now let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the DJI Mavic 3 Pro, what an extraordinary piece of technology. The Mavic 3, let's see, when did it come out? It would have been, I think, was it November of 2021, I believe, is when the original Mavic 3 came out. And then it was the spring of 2023, I believe, that they came out with the Mavic 3 Pro. And the Mavic 3 Pro just added another lens. The Mavic 3 Pro has a 3x telephoto and a 7x telephoto and that micro four thirds main camera, whereas the original Mavic 3 just had the main micro four thirds camera and a 7x telephoto on there. And there is the Mavic 3 Classic, which just has the main micro four thirds main camera, which is extraordinary. It's the best consumer grade drone camera that there is, period. Don't let anybody tell you any different, because they're wrong. It's the best one. Now if you move up to, you know, higher up the ladder, yes, you can find better cameras, but on the consumer level, this is the top dog. So really nothing special about today's flight. I used that firmware update as an excuse to go fly. I didn't see anything particularly different about the drone, about the way it flew or anything. I gave you a tour of Kleiner Park here. Again, it was an excuse to fly more than anything else. We did try out the extraordinary obstacle avoidance that this drone has. Flew it right over the top of me here, first thing, and you know, right underneath the picnic shelter here. That's just phenomenal to me. Phenomenal to me. I just love that kind of technology. I'm sure you could crash this drone, but you got to work really hard at it. You really got to work hard on it to crash this guy. And then, like I said, then did our droning and then gave you just kind of a tour of Kleiner Park here. I love flying here. There's just so many interesting things to look at this park and things you can do with your drone, cinematic things, etc. And then we did a master shot out there over the Julius Kleiner statue. And that's another extraordinary thing that DJI puts technology. Now their lower drones have master shots as well, but it's something that they include on the Mavic 3 Pro as well. Anyway, I just had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, the DJI Mavic 3 Pro, just an extraordinary drone. See you guys later. Bye.